Vietnam, located in the heart of Southeast Asia, is a truly unique country that immediately attracts attention with its amazing shape resembling the letter C. This graceful curving line is not accidental. It is like a symbol of the geographical and historical path traversed by the country over the centuries. Vietnam's strategic location plays a crucial role in its fate. On the one hand, its northern border is washed by the waters of the vast Eastern Sea, and on the other, it borders such large states as China, Laos, and Cambodia. The eastern and southern coasts of the country are washed by the warm waters of the ocean, which makes it an important hub for international shipping routes and transit routes connecting China, India, and other countries in the region. This location makes Vietnam not only a trade center, but also a strategic player in the politics and security of Southeast Asia, influencing the geopolitical situation in the region. The total area of the country is just over 330,000 square kilometers, which is approximately equal to the area of the American state of New Mexico. Despite its relatively small size, the nature of Vietnam impresses with its diversity and richness. Majestic mountain ranges rise here, among which Fansipan stands out, the highest peak in all of Southeast Asia, reaching a height of more than 3,143 meters. There are fertile lowlands near the mountain ranges, saturated with a rich ecosystem, dense mangrove forests, tropical jungles, rare species of plants and animals. A special place in the natural wealth is occupied by the long coastline, exceeding 3,260 kilometers, which makes Vietnam one of the countries with the longest coastline in the region. This coast is home to world-famous natural monuments such as Ho Long Bay, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, as well as the famous Meek Beach, recognized by Forbes magazine as one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. For lovers of sea adventures and sunbathing, the shores of Vietnam are a real expanse that can surprise and inspire every traveler. The climatic conditions in the country vary depending on the region. In the north, where cities such as Hanoi and Haiphong are located, 4 seasons change: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. There is a pronounced change of seasons here, with characteristic temperatures and weather conditions. In the south, in turn, the climate is milder and more predictable. There are only 2 seasons, the rainy season and the dry season, while heat and high humidity persist almost all year round, creating a special atmosphere of a tropical climate. The central regions of the country are characterized by their unpredictability and capriciousness. Strong Laotian winds blow in summer, bringing heat and dust, and floods and other natural disasters occur during the rains. After that, everything returns to normal, and nature again pleases the eye with its beauty and diversity. As of the 2024 year, Vietnam's population has reached almost 100 million people, making it the 15th most populous country in the world. This figure hides a rich and complex cultural mosaic. About 54 different ethnic groups live in the country, each with its own traditions, customs, and unique features. The main part of the population is the Kin people, who make up about 85 to 90% of the total population of the country. The rest are representatives of the Hmong, Thai, Khai, Hmong, Khmer, and others, each of whom has made its own unique contribution to the cultural and historical heritage of Vietnam. These diverse ethnic groups create a rich palette of festivals, rituals, traditional crafts and customs, making the country truly multifaceted and unique. Let's take the example of the fate of Nguyenenka Phuong Khao, a woman who became the first in the history of Southeast Asia to achieve billionaire status solely through her own efforts and talents. Her life path has become a vivid inspiration for a whole generation of ambitious women striving for success and independence. However, behind this impressive achievement lies not only a triumph, but also a real daily life full of difficulties and continuous efforts. According to research, on average, Vietnamese women spend more than 5 hours a day doing household chores. This daily, sometimes exhausting workload seems to contribute to their exceptional multitasking skills. After all, they are equally confident in managing the family hearth, taking care of children, and at the same time running their own business or realizing professional ambitions. In their eyes, it is not customary to complain about difficulties, and it is this steadfastness that is sincerely admired by others. In relationships, such women are characterized by loyalty and emotional openness, but they remain strong, independent individuals who are able to withstand any challenges. They are friendly and easily meet foreigners halfway, showing sincere interest and respect. Increasingly, intercultural connections based on sincerity, mutual respect, and developed emotional intelligence are emerging in their lives. Modern Vietnamese women are increasingly finding love through popular dating apps such as Tinder, Date Now, as well as through social media. In recent years, the number of couples who decided to start a life together before marriage was formalized has increased by about 25%. This is a new generation of women are not only beautiful and successful, but also brave, active, and inspiring. They redefine what it means to live by their own rules and love freely. If you want to know how to win the heart of a Vietnamese woman, write the number 2 in the comments and maybe we'll tell you a secret. The third point is the Kingdom of Motorcycles, which holds a special place in Vietnam. By the 20th and 4th year of this century, from 72 to 75 million two-wheeled vehicles were registered here. This means that almost 3 out of every 4 residents of the country have their own motorcycle. This figure surprises even the most avid motorcycle enthusiasts around the world. In megacities such as Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, motorcycles account for 85 to 90% of all street traffic. Therefore, when you watch the morning stream of bikes resembling a stormy river, you are not just standing in traffic, you are observing one of the most striking and characteristic features of Vietnamese daily life. Why are there so many of them? The answer lies in their convenience and practicality. Motorcycles easily pass through narrow and winding streets, reducing travel time, helping to avoid congestion, and at the same time are much cheaper than cars. In conditions of overcrowded cities, where every meter of land is a valuable resource, a motorcycle becomes not only a means of transportation, but also an economic solution. Moreover, it serves as a source of income for millions of people. The delivery of food, goods, the sale of snacks, the transportation of refrigerators, or even live pigs. All this is carried out on motorcycles that handle everything. For many of these people, it is not just transportation, but a constant source of income and a means of subsistence. In addition, the motorcycle has become a cultural symbol, an important part of the daily life and identity of the country. However, such a massive use of transport is not without consequences. Increased air pollution, noise and traffic jams, which create serious problems both for the environment and for the lives of citizens. These challenges require joint efforts on the part of government agencies and society. For those who are coming to Vietnam for the first time, there is an important advice. When crossing the street, you should not stop or run. It is better to move calmly and evenly, making eye contact with approaching drivers. When traveling to Vietnam for the first time, you may encounter many unusual scenes that other countries might consider illegal or unusual. However, for local residents, they are a completely natural part of everyday life and even a reflection of the unique flavor of the country. In this review, I will talk about 6 such phenomena that, despite their apparent strangeness, are deeply rooted in the culture and traditions of this amazing people. Let's start with the first one, with an unusual, at first glance, practice that can be observed right on the sidewalks. There, in the most crowded places, a mobile hairdresser often appears. A simple stool, a mirror, a set of tools. And in a matter of minutes, under the bright sun, you will get a neat haircut. All this happens among humming mopeds, noisy conversations and birdsong, and the price is often very affordable, often not exceeding the cost of breakfast. In countries such as the United States of America, such street trading and sidewalk services are often punishable by fines and considered a violation of the rules. But in Vietnam, this is not only acceptable, but also perceived as part of a vibrant street culture that gives the city a special flavor. This is just the beginning of a long list of unusual but quite normal local traditions. The next point concerns the habit of drinking beer right on the streets, in public places. Vietnamese people hold impromptu parties on sidewalks, in parks, or even in the middle of noisy streets, such as Bui Vien or Ta Hien, turning an ordinary place into a friendly gathering. A small plastic table, a couple of chairs, and a cool beer are enough for this, and already the evening is turning into a celebration. In such conditions, beer becomes not just a drink, but a kind of ritual that unites strangers, turning them into friends and interlocutors. This shows that in Vietnam, beer is not only a way to relax, but also a means to strengthen ties, to create a warm, friendly atmosphere that is felt in literally every corner of the country. The third point is related to the purchase of medicines. In most countries of the world, it is necessary to have a prescription and go to pharmacies according to a doctor's prescription in order to receive certain medicines, which is often accompanied by waiting and bureaucratic procedures. In Vietnam, the situation looks much simpler. Just go to the nearest pharmacy, describe your symptoms to the seller, and in a few minutes you will receive the right remedy. This quick and convenient approach significantly saves time and effort, making pharmaceutical care accessible to almost everyone. However, tourists and first-time visitors may experience a feeling of some bewilderment. How is it possible to get medicines without a prescription? Many are wondering whether to rejoice at this or to be wary. But for the Vietnamese, such trust in pharmacies and the simplicity of the process are the norm. Another aspect that deserves attention is the amazing ease and speed of such processes, which may seem a little strange or even confusing to a tourist at first. At the same time, it is precisely because of these features that life in Vietnam flows quickly and dynamically. It certainly saves a lot of time, allowing people to quickly solve their daily issues and enjoy life. At the same time, some travelers have an internal question. Is it worth enjoying such freedom, or is it better to be careful and attentive? After all, such unusual approaches often raise doubts and surprise. We turn to the fifth point, the customs of Vietnam's ethnic minorities, which sometimes seem rather strange to a foreigner, but are actually deeply symbolic and meaningful. Thus, the Hmong people practice a tradition called bride kidnapping. At first glance, this sounds very unusual, even shocking, but it is important to understand that we are talking about a courtship ritual, and not about some kind of violence or forcible capture. In this custom, if a couple meets and both agree, the man kidnaps the girl to his home. This is a kind of symbolic offer, an expression of serious intentions. If the girl decides to stay, and Vietnam's coffee culture is not only an important component of the national economy, but also a whole philosophy that has penetrated into the daily life and traditions of the country. In the modern world, Vietnam occupies an honorable second place in the list of the largest coffee exporters after Brazil, which has long been considered a world leader in this field. However, what is especially surprising is that the country provides almost 40% of the world's coffee production, which indicates the steady development of this industry and its key role in the Vietnamese economy. Vietnamese coffee, especially Robusta, occupies a special place among the world's coffee varieties due to its unique qualities. Although Arabica is considered softer and more delicate, it is Robusta, cultivated in this country, that is valued for its bright, rich taste, high levels of caffeine, and dense, rich foam. These grains are even used to make the famous coffee with color, which is considered a real delicacy and is one of the 10 most expensive coffees in the world. This drink is famous for its sophistication, rarity, and special taste, which cannot be confused with others. But the coffee culture in Vietnam is not only about quantitative indicators and export volumes. First of all, it is about creating a unique atmosphere in which coffee becomes not just a drink, but a part of the national identity. A striking example is the traditional café with ice and condensed milk, a drink that has become a true national treasure and has been recognized by CNN as one of the best coffees in the world. Vietnamese people like to experiment and create new types of coffee drinks, among which stand out such original ones as egg coffee, which at one time was named by the National Geographic Society as one of those coffees that you definitely need to try before you die. This drink combines the tenderness of the yolk and the richness of the coffee, creating a velvety and exquisite taste that evokes genuine admiration. No less amazing are other original variations: salty coffee, which has a special piquancy, and coconut coffee, which fills the drink with tropical aromas. These authentic drinks pleasantly surprise tourists and add variety to the country's coffee palate. It is important to emphasize that in Vietnam, coffee is not just a drink that invigorates and helps to wake up. This is a cultural phenomenon centered on small street stalls and cozy cafes where friendships are formed, lively conversations are held, and the most important moments of life are shared. For Vietnamese, coffee is an opportunity to stop, take a break in the hustle and bustle, exchange smiles and words, and enjoy a moment of relaxation and warmth. As for the scale of agricultural potential, Vietnam continues to occupy an important place in the global agricultural industry. In the 24th year of the 21st century, the country is confidently among the top 15 largest exporters of agricultural products, taking a leading position in a number of important goods. Among them, a special place is occupied by the export of coffee, as well as products such as cashew nuts, which have repeatedly been recognized as one of the best in the world in terms of quality and volume. Vietnam is a world leader in the export of black pepper and also ranks first in the world in the supply of dragon fruits, controlling more than 80% of the global market for these tropical fruits. In addition, the country is one of the 3 largest rice exporters, and the Sortie 25 variety was once awarded the title of the best rice in the world. In addition, Vietnam has a strong position in the export of tropical fruits and fresh shrimp, making it an important player in the global food market. This success is not accidental, it is due to a number of factors. Firstly, the tropical monsoon climate prevailing in this country creates ideal conditions for growing a variety of crops from rice to bright tropical fruits. Secondly, fertile lands and a rich network of rivers, especially in areas such as the Mekong Delta. The Son Doong Cave is the largest known underground system on our planet today. Since its discovery in 2000, this huge underground structure has won the hearts of not only experts and scientists, but also adventurers and travelers from all over the world. Its length reaches 9 kilometers, and the ceiling height in some halls exceeds 200 meters, while the width of the cave is about 150 meters. A modern skyscraper with several floors could easily be located inside this natural giant. The formation of this unique system took place over the course of about 2 to 5 million years ago, due to the work of underground rivers which gradually eroded limestone, creating grand halls and fantastic rock formations. However, the scale is only part of its uniqueness. Inside Son Doong, pristine jungles have been preserved, an underground river flows, and the cave itself is a closed ecosystem that may be home to species that have not yet been discovered by scientists. Some experts call it a real Jurassic Park because it is an isolated natural world where life develops in full accordance with natural laws, without human intervention. The grandiose stalactites, reaching a height of 80 meters, create an impressive picture inside the cave. They were formed over the centuries, dripping minerals and turning into graceful columns like natural cathedrals, which in beauty and grandeur have no equal on the whole earth. This natural monument is so valuable that the British broadcasting company called Shandong Vietnam's gift for adventurers. To preserve this delicate and fragile ecosystem, access inside is strictly limited. Only about 1,000 people are allowed here every year. The cost of one expedition tour is approximately $3,000, which makes it affordable only for those who are willing to invest in an extraordinary journey. For real explorers, this is not just an adventure. It is an opportunity to immerse yourself in a mysterious and unexplored underground world, to feel its breadth and beauty. Such a hike turns into a unique experience that will forever remain in the memory, reminding of the greatness of nature and its infinite wealth. We move on to the next unique place, the Kai Rang Floating Market in the Mekong Delta, which is essentially devoid of the usual shopping malls and supermarkets. Here, shopping takes place right on the river, turning into an extraordinary sight and a vivid symbol of the region. This market is one of the most recognizable and lively images of the Mekong Delta, where hundreds of boats gather in the center of the river every day, creating a vibrant and ever-changing shopping scene. Each boat is a kind of floating store offering a wide range of goods, from fresh fruits and vegetables to seafood, dried foods and hot food, coffee, crab noodles, bun rio, or traditional baguette banh mi. It all looks like a walk through an ordinary city market, only instead of land there is water, and instead of pedestrian streets there are rows of boats. Interestingly, there are no noisy screams or intrusive advertisements in this market, as in modern shopping malls. Sellers simply hang their goods on long poles in front of the boats, creating a kind of bright signage that is easy to spot from afar. A buyer approaching such a floating market immediately sees where to stay. Everything is clear and convenient. The most famous and recognizable of these markets is considered to be the Kai Rang Floating Market, located in Cantha. This market is so unusual and colorful that it was included in the list of the most unusual markets in the world, prepared by a well-known international broadcasting company. Here you can not only buy fresh food, but also get on a boat, order a cup of hot coffee, and enjoy traditional Vietnamese cuisine, such as hot pho, which is so well suited for waking up in the morning. All this creates an atmosphere of comfort and ease, and boating becomes a real pleasure, especially if the Vietnamese language occupies a special place among the world's languages due to its unique structure and rich history. It is the official language of Vietnam and is often considered one of the most difficult for those who try to master it, especially for native speakers of Western languages. The main difficulty in learning the Vietnamese language is its tone system. There are only 6 tones in this language, and changing the intonation of just one syllable can completely change the meaning of a word. Imagine that the same letter or syllable, pronounced with different intonation, can turn a simple phrase into a real riddle that requires solving. It's like playing a linguistic lottery where every word contains hidden ambiguity, but that's not all. The Vietnamese language has a huge number of words that can have several meanings at once, and it all depends on the context in which these words are used. Such a diverse approach to word usage can easily confuse a beginner, especially if they are just starting to learn the language. In addition, the system of pronouns and forms of address in the Vietnamese language is distinguished by its complexity and richness. Unlike English, where only 2 pronouns are enough, I and you, there are dozens of forms in the Vietnamese language, each of which is selected depending on age, status, degree of intimacy, and respect. As a result, every communication turns into a real intellectual challenge, where you need to quickly navigate the intricacies of social interaction. But despite all these difficulties, learning the Vietnamese language brings incredible pleasure and passion. As soon as you begin to immerse yourself in its study, it seems to capture you completely and never let go. it becomes a part of your life, opening up new horizons and expanding the boundaries of understanding culture. Let's move on to another important aspect of Vietnamese reality, its spiritual world. The country, rich in its history and traditions, is famous for the diversity of beliefs and religious practices that coexist and are intertwined in the daily lives of local residents. Vietnam is a country where religion and culture are closely connected, forming a special spiritual atmosphere. The three most prominent and deeply rooted types of beliefs are Buddhism, the cult of the Mother Goddess, and the cult of the ancestors. Each of these traditions occupies an important place in the consciousness of the people and influences their customs, holidays, and rituals. Buddhism, which penetrated these lands many centuries ago, is firmly rooted in the culture and religious life of the Vietnamese. His influence is felt everywhere, in ancient monuments, philosophical teachings, traditional rituals, and annual festivals. The most important evidence of respect for the Buddhist tradition was the holding of international events, such as the celebration of Vesak Day in the 25th year of this century, which was attended by representatives of more than 80 countries. This event was a vivid confirmation of the importance of Buddhism in Asian culture and its role in shaping the spiritual values of the region. Amazing architectural monuments such as the Changkok Pagoda, Yantu Pagoda, and Bulong Pagoda are not only religious centers, but also symbols of the spiritual beauty and cultural heritage of Vietnam. Each of these places impresses with its unique architecture, craftsmanship, and richness of decorative elements, reflecting the age-old traditions and wisdom of the people. The cult of the Mother Goddess, associated with folk beliefs, occupies a special place in the spiritual life of the Vietnamese. He worships such deities as Mao Liu Han and Mao Cheongan, which symbolize respect for nature and the feminine principle. These deities embody respect for natural harmony and vitality, which is manifested in numerous rituals and festivals. One of the most significant rituals of this cult is the Hau Zau rite, recognized by UNESCO as a cultural heritage site. It is a unique combination of rituals, music, and theatrical performances, creating a fascinating atmosphere of spiritual unity and respect for the deities. The cult of the ancestors holds a special place in the hearts of people. During the celebration of the New Year, families come together to prepare traditional dishes in a cozy and warm atmosphere, which are passed down from generation to generation and follow ancient rituals filled with symbolism and deep meaning. During this special period, parents, children, and older relatives unite in joint actions, creating an atmosphere of unity and harmony that fills their hearts with joy and hope. The exchange of red envelopes with good wishes and blessings is becoming an important tradition, symbolizing well-being, health, and success in the new year. In addition to this, the holidays are filled with energetic lion dances, bright, dynamic, and memorable performances, as well as folk games that convey the spirit of national culture and allow everyone to feel like a part of a common holiday. These events create a cozy, welcoming atmosphere in which everyone feels welcome and loved, and traditions live and are passed down from generation to generation, strengthening the bond between people. After the end of the New Year celebrations in Hoang, usually in the first 3 lunar months, the festival begins, which attracts thousands of pilgrims and tourists. This special event takes place in the city of Hanoi and is considered one of the most important cultural and spiritual holidays of the country. Such pilgrimages to Buddhist shrines are not only a manifestation of faith, but also an opportunity to find inner peace, find good luck, and renew spiritual strength. The journey to the shrines often begins with a leisurely boat ride along a calm, quiet river, which is surrounded by majestic limestone mountains towering like the guardians of ancient temples. This picturesque landscape creates a sense of solitude with nature and promotes concentration. As they move up the mountain slopes, Pilgrims visit famous temples that reflect the rich spiritual tradition of the region, as well as immerse themselves in the atmosphere of ancient times and hidden caves that hold the secrets of past eras. Festivals in Vietnam are not only an expression of religious faith and spiritual values, but also a unique opportunity to enjoy the natural beauty, hear traditional music such as cheo and cat, which fills the air with a special mood and conveys the feelings of the people through melodies and rhythms. The festivals held in Hue, an ancient city famous for its rich history and architectural heritage, are especially vivid and memorable. One of the most significant is the festival, which is held every 2 years and is considered one of the largest cultural events in the country. This international event, which gathers guests from all over the world, is a real feast for the eyes and ears. It includes reconstructions of court ceremonies that allow viewers to immerse themselves in the atmosphere of the imperial era. Exquisite imperial music sounds filling the air with its sophistication, and the poetic songs of Hue convey the mood and spirit of ancient times. The program also features a variety of modern and traditional performances, vibrant street parades, art exhibitions and workshops that are admired by visitors of all ages. These events bring people together and create a unique holiday atmosphere imbued with the spirit of culture and history. No less attractive is the Love Market, located in the picturesque town of Sapa, which is open every Saturday evening. This is a special place where young men and women from various ethnic minorities, Hmong, Dao and others, meet to get to know each other, socialize and, perhaps, find their destiny. The atmosphere of this event is filled with romance, and the air is filled with the sounds of the ken, a traditional instrument used to summon a lover, and sincere courtship songs that create a special mood. Guests of this holiday can join the Iksu dances or participate in fun folk games, fully immersing themselves in the rich culture of the mountainous regions and experiencing the full depth of their traditions and customs. Each of these festivals is not just an entertainment or a spectacle. If you want to get rid of the hustle and bustle of the city, escape from the daily hustle and bustle of life, and immerse yourself in an atmosphere of peace and tranquility, then the town of Sapa, located in the northern mountains of Vietnam, is ideal for such purposes. This cozy resort area is famous for its cool and fresh climate, which pleases visitors at any time of the year. There are picturesque villages in the vicinity of Sap, inhabited by ethnic minorities such as Hmong, Dao, and other ethnic groups that have preserved their traditions and customs. These villages seem to be imbued with a special flavor and unique culture, which makes walking through them truly fascinating and informative. One of the main natural attractions of the region are the terraces of rice fields that descend along the slopes of the mountains and create incredible picturesque landscapes that amaze with their beauty and harmony. You can go on a hiking route through these villages where you will be greeted by locals with warmth in their hearts and smiles on their faces. There, you can get acquainted with the culture and customs of the peoples, communicate with representatives of ethnic groups, learn about their crafts, traditional costumes, and cuisine. Climbing to the top of Fansipan, the highest mountain in Southeast Asia, with a height of more than 2,000 meters, will be no less exciting. Such a hike will give you unforgettable views and the feeling of reaching the top, offering a panorama of the surrounding mountain ranges and valleys. The natural beauty of this region, as well as the kindness and hospitality of the locals, make the trip to Sapa especially memorable and full of positive emotions. In addition, one of the most famous natural wonders of Vietnam is Halong Bay, which is rightfully considered one of the symbols of this country. This unique natural site includes more than 600 majestic islands forming an amazing archipelago, as if created by the imagination of nature. High limestone cliffs rising from the azure waters create stunning paintings that fascinate everyone who finds themselves in this place. Halong Bay is included in the UNESCO World Heritage List due to its exceptional natural beauty and uniqueness. Here you can go on a boat trip to admire the picturesque scenery, explore the mysterious caves hidden among the rocks, or go kayaking and swimming in the quiet corners of the bay. The water in these places is clear and clean, which makes water activities especially enjoyable. For lovers of nature and relaxing holidays, this place will become a real paradise where you can forget about everyday worries and fully immerse yourself in the atmosphere of peace and beauty. Another popular destination is Phuc Island, located in the south of Vietnam. This paradise is famous for its snow-white beaches washed by crystal-clear waters and luxurious resorts that offer comfort and privacy. Here you can relax, soak up the warm sand, swim in the warm sea, or go diving, exploring the richness of the underwater world. In addition to water activities, Phuc Island is an ideal place to watch sunsets. The bright colors of the sky are reflected in the water and create a magical atmosphere of peace. In the evening, you can stroll along the beach bars where you can simply enjoy the moment to the sound of music and the aroma of fresh seafood. Local markets offer fresh seafood and original souvenirs, which makes visiting the island even more enjoyable and memorable. This corner of Vietnam is an oasis of tranquility and beauty, where everyone can find inner peace and recharge with positivity. As for Vietnamese cuisine, it is an amazing journey through a multitude of taste sensations, each of which reflects the richness of the country's cultural traditions. Regional features create a unique gastronomic palette in which it is easy to find. Both living in Vietnam is a real discovery for those who are looking for a balance between accessibility and comfort, because almost every aspect of daily expenses here is surprising for its low price and at the same time high quality. For example, street food, which is considered one of the main advantages of the country, offers dishes such as bun pho or cotham at a very affordable price, only $1 or $2 per serving. And at the same time, they taste in no way inferior to dishes served in prestigious restaurants, which makes such treats not only affordable, but also very tasty. While a dinner in a good establishment can cost about $15 per person, which for many is quite an acceptable price. At home, you can prepare a full lunch or dinner, spending about $25 a week on fresh food. This allows you to save a lot while maintaining quality and taste. As for transport, it is also distinguished by its low cost. A bus ride here costs about 40 US cents, which is a very affordable price that allows you to move around the city easily and quickly without spending a lot of money. At the same time, for more comfortable and faster movements, you can use a taxi or popular applications such as Grab and Bee, paying only $3 to $5 for a short flight. Renting a motorcycle, which is one of the most popular ways of transportation among locals and tourists, costs about $50 per month, which makes this type of transport very profitable and convenient. In addition, the rest of the living expenses here are also absolutely moderate. For example, a gym membership costs from $15 to $50 per month, which allows you to exercise at no extra cost. The cost of laundry is about $1 to $2 per kilogram of laundry, and a basic dental check-up is from $10 to $30 per visit. All these expenses add up to the overall picture, and the total monthly cost of living for one person in Vietnam varies from about $700 to $900. For such money, you can not only live comfortably, but also enjoy every day, enjoying all the opportunities that the country offers. It is interesting to note that such prices allow people to lead a fairly fulfilling life without feeling limited in their needs. You might be surprised to learn that even with relatively small expenses, you can easily find entertainment, exercise, and take care of your health here. Or maybe you were most surprised by the fact how accessible and comfortable life in Vietnam is. Or do you have any observations and impressions about life in this country that you would like to share? Be sure to leave your comments below. We are very interested to know your opinion and hear your stories. Keep in mind that these figures are indicative data, serving only as an example. And before planning a move, it is recommended to conduct your own research and clarify the current prices and conditions. I hope you enjoyed today's narration and it was useful for you. If so, don't forget to leave a comment and share this text with friends and acquaintances, because such knowledge can be useful to those who are thinking about life in Vietnam or just interested in the peculiarities of life in different countries. There's a new video waiting for you which will appear on the screen a little later. Be sure to watch it because I'm sure you'll like it too.